Fine. So during these last two sessions, we just started with the uh, getting data, then looking at the data. What are the different issues we may have in the data? So we have started with that, right? So we'll proceed further with the data cleaning, and then we'll also at the same time we'll look at the different visualizations. Fine. Now that we had brought in the data set, right, and this data set we had seen that a lot of issues were there, right? So we have to look at the data. And now let's get to the data and where did we do the transformation? We do the transformation in the Power Query editor, right? And it is under home ribbon. Then we have the transform data. This is the Power Query editor. So we will have to open that. Let's go to the Power Query editor and look at the data set. Until now, it should be pretty easy. We should not have any issues, right? So now we have this data set, right? And we started changing the data type. So you can see here all the steps we had performed, during last two sessions, two classes, right? So all these steps are available here. So you will be able to recognize it, what we had done, right? We had removed the top rows, we had promoted to headers, we had removed the blank rows, removed some of the columns, removed some of duplicate values, and filtered some rows, and now uh, changing the data type, right? So here you can track all of your changes, whatever you have made to the file. Fine. Now let's see the data type changes we were making is we had done the few column data type changes here. Now we have the order date. We have changed it to date. We have changed this order date to date, and now we have finally we did get an error right here. You can see we had seen a error. And how do we see that error? Here you will see that red color in the ribbon, right? So this strip will have the red color, and it will show that how many error values are there. So you have 18 values where we have the error, right? So we can remove the error directly here. So it will remove the entire row. Let's go to the error values. So let's check what are the error information we have, and we can going down, we can check the error, right? Here you can see the error cell.
There is no option to filter the error rows.
Yeah, we have. So we are looking at the error, and we can also uh, remove the even errors. Okay, we have so many options. So here you can see the we could not. What is the error? So to check the error, right, you have to go to the error and click on the cell. Okay, click open the cell, and you will see the error type, and you will see that also that error opening that error is also creating a step, right? And what is that error? You can see could not convert to number, because this is a NA value. So these are string value, and whatever changes we were making, though that is not a string value, right? That is a number type, and we are changing it to number type. So a string value cannot be text value cannot be changed to a number type, right? So now here you can see that we'll see here the information also, like, okay, that will not directly get the error value here from here. So NA value will not see, now it is changed to NA value, right? And also error values will not be able to see directly from here. Okay. So you cannot see here. There is something we could not find this copy. You can see that error you will find here directly here, right? Uh, some of the numbers fine, but you will not be able to see here. So error, what is the error you can find from here? Okay, so down here, but it will not be able to show here. Fine. So error copy, you can copy the error from here, right? And it will be always error. Okay, it will be always error, right? It is not a different value. So once you try to filter this, right? If you go to the filter option, you will see that some of the errors are there, and you will not be able to see those values. So this error value is here, right? So this is the error information, and you can copy and fix this value. But this will not be available as a data to filter. Fine. So this is one thing for the error. Okay, and now you can go to the now. How do we fix this error? Right? One thing is you can just remove this error. Right? You can remove this error, and you will see that this is removed directly from the data set. Okay, and then what is the issue here? So if we just remove the error, what will be the issue? Can you,
Data count mismatch.
yeah, it will remove the entire row. Okay. It will remove the entire row, whereas we may only not have the price value, but we may have valid other values, right? So that is not a correct way to, remove this, to remove the values, right? To remove the errors, error rows, right? We have to fix this. That means we have to fix the error cell only, error value only, and not remove the entire row and all those things, right? So in case where we don't need those rows itself, right, insignificant values are there, so we can remove that. But if it is significant and we have some other business values, right, we have to keep those, and we have to work on the data available here, and we have to replace the error and all those things, right? We don't have to remove the entire row. Then how do we, fix these values? How do we fix these things? So we'll come to this once we are setting some of other of the setting some other data type. Okay. The other option okay, these are these are text information. So text information, this is fine. Now we are also having another issue here. We are also having another issue here, and we can see that there is some there's a issue with the date format. Issue with the date format. So what could be the issue? So here the date format, whatever we had, right? So all the date format was easily, we got the date format easily, right? Just by changing it to date and time or date, right? So we will just get the date easily. But here you can see there is an error with the date, right? And we can check the error values, right? We can check the error values. How do you can just go to here also and check the incompatible, and we could not see here, and we could not see here there is some error, and that error says like we could not pass the input provided as the date value. So input could not be passed as the date value, right? So this is the error we have here, or we can go to the error values, check the error rows, and click on the error rows, and you will find the exact error information. Okay, and now you just click it here. You can see that this is the date passed as input, but we could not pass the input provided as a date value. So this value was passed as an input value, and we wanted to change this to date value, but it is not recognized as a date value. And you can see this format of the date is the India date format. Okay, and this file we have set for the local of this file we have set is to US. Okay, local means all the format and all those things will be according to the US dataset. Fine. So you can see that regional settings we have, okay, model language, and this one fine. So file settings here, you can see regional setting is English US. So all the locals, see here, the dates, numbers, time, and all these things will be interpreted as the US values, US input values, right? So now it was expecting a US input values, local value as US input, right? But but this data set is having the India input dates, right? Or India like input date. We have also in UK also similar, I think, input date, right? So we have to fix this date, right? Then only we can change the data type to date type, right? And it should all the data type, right? All the dates should be in sync, right? All the dates format should be in sync all over the file. It should not be different, right? One of the files should not be in US format, and another file should not be in the India format. It should all of these should be converted to the same format, right? As we are seeing here, this is in different format, this is in different format, and it is not in sync. Fine. So we want to get it into sync. And how this is arising? This is arising from the source data. Okay, from wherever this source information is coming, and the local is kept as the source, right? And we have the differences in data in that case. Fine. That's fine. Now we want to how we can fix these issues. We have issues here. We have issues in the other file like price values, right? So how do we fix these issues? And these issues may come frequently, right? So now we want to change this date. First of all, we have to take it. We have to remove this change data type. Okay, we have to go to the previous date format. Okay, we have to get to the previous format. So remove this last step, the change data type step, right? Because directly from here we cannot change it to this one. Okay, we cannot change the data type. Also, in this case, okay, in the case of prices, right, we have two options. One option is directly we can remove the error. Either we can remove the error, only replace the error values. Okay, we have one option to just replace this error value, right? And the second option is replace the underlying data. Okay, to replace the underlying data we have to go back to this step, right? Here we have the underlying data, right? And here we have the error data, right? So we have two options here, either to remove the error once we come to this stage, and remove the or replace the error with the required values, or underlying data we can replace, right? And then we can convert this, change the data type, right? Fine. So now we are going back to one step back, and let's fix this data type, date data type. Okay. Let's first of all, let's uh, check this file. Okay, this is number type. We had changed it to number type whole number, and this is fine. This is fine. So these are dates data type. So we had, and now we can also, select. We can also select many data. Okay, at once, many field at once, and change it to a data type. Okay, so we are selecting these two dates, and the third date we have error on the last date, so third date. and changing it to changing the data type, right? So you have to right click and you can see here also change type information, right? And we want to change it to date time, right? Date values. So all of these are changed to date values, right? And how do we do that? How do we change the all, how do we change multiple columns selected at once? Just hold down the control button, right? It's similar to the Excel. So hold down the control button and select all of the rows you want to change the data type to some other data type, right? So hold down these three columns at once and change the data type. Right click on these and you will find the change type, and here you have the option to change the data type. Any
I
o-
have one question.
please.
See, the delivery date format is in the date format. However, that delivery date format 2 is in the text format.
Hmm. Yes.
Whether it will be match up the data while doing a calculation, anything if we are finding a date different or something, whether it will provide the correct result if you are doing a
No,
date different.
no. Now we are what we had seen before, that we had some issue with the delivery date format 2, right? So we have to fix that issue,
Okay, okay.
right? So we are going to fix that issue because we had seen that there is an issue with the input values, and the file was not able to recognize, right? Power BI was not able to recognize the input value as the date value. It was recognizing it as the only as the text value. So now we have to change it to fix that issue. And now how we are going to fix that issue? We have changed these to date format, and you can see all of these date format are now in sync. Whatever dates we had, all of these are in sync, right? Because you may have seen the date, then you had the month name, but here you had only the month number, here you had the month name. Now all of these are in sync, right? And now you can see that this is also in sync. But the last date format, right, it was not recognized by Power BI. So we have to fix this issue. So this is a local issue because the input was not recognized. So we had to understand first. We have to understand which date format this data is. Okay, and now you can see that first is the date value, then is the number month value, then is the year values, right? So it is India like date format, right? We have such kind of date format, right? We use such kind of date format, India like date format we have. So let's see, also in UK also this date format is used, right? So we have to first give this as using local. We have to change this value using local. So first we
Delivery date format one is also having DDMMYY1.
no, this is having not DDMM. This is having DD. Now it is changed to DDMM at this one. But if you had seen that that local would be US local or something else. Okay. Uh, so because of that, right, we would. So this was recognized. Okay, and because the delivery date format was correct in this case. Okay, but now here this was not recognized because this was not recognized properly.
So Manjar, like, do you mean that we need to check two things basically? Like, first we need to check whether the local is set to India or US. If it is India, then we need to convert it to US. Then later on, we
Hmm.
need to convert it to date format.
Huh. See,
So there are two steps we need to follow.
most of the thing, like it is rarely, it will rarely happen. Okay, this is one thing, it will rarely happen because you will get your data from the data warehouse where everything is taken care, right? But if you are getting some files, Excel files or SharePoint files, right, so arising from some other places, right, and you are formatting it in India, and the different maybe the different columns are here, like in this case, different columns are set with different local, right? So because of that, we had some issues. Now differences, right? So you have to first find out which input format this is. Okay. Then because it is not able to recognize the input format, right? That's why it is not able to change, right? Now we want to change this to date format, and to change it to date format, it has to first understand what is the input data here, right? What is input data? Simple input values are these, right? Here we had the simple input values are okay, this one. So it should change the values to proper date format. Now let's see whether it is. So it has changed it. Let's see. Okay. So it has changed the date format, right? And you can also see that it has changed to all of these dates are changed to India date format, right? All of these dates are changed to India date format. Okay. So now the input values are here. We had said that the input value and current file was having input value as the US value. Okay.
Hey Manzar, can you repeat this step? Like I missed it. When you click go to local, then what did you
Huh.
do?
So what is happening, right? The issue was the input date format, right? The input date format was not recognized, right? So we have to change the input date format. So to change the input date from where the input date coming from the local, right? So local will set the dates, will set the data format, everything. So you have to change this date format. You have to change the format or data type using the local. Okay, you have to change it using local because the input format is different. So now we are changing the input data replacement. Okay, replacing this format, and here we are getting this. Let's see. Now we had, suppose we are changing it from text to, now earlier it was text, now it is the date format. So what we are doing, we are changing it to date format, and also we are providing the input value, like from which kind of date format it is, what is the date input it is, right? So here you can see this, we are saying setting it to India, and this setting to India means we are saying that the date format is this. That date format will be 29 March 2016, 29 March, or this, like all of these date format will be recognized as the India date. Or you can also go to the UK and check the UK dates, right? And it should be English UK, and it should be also similar. English UK. United Kingdom, right? So it's, you can see this date format is also similar, right? United States, UK. So this date format, and similarly, you can set it to any date format, right? You can set it to some input local, and so that it is recognized. It may be India, it may be UK, or some other places. So you have to first understand what is the data. So it is happening mostly in the date format, right? In this date format only, most of. So yeah, this is fixed now, and you can see that date format is fixed. The next part is the we have also these prices, right? We have the prices and stocks and these things. So let's see, we had issues with the price information, right? We had some issues with the price. Now let's change it to the fixed number type, because this is the dollar values or currency information, right? So we are just changing to fixed dollar type, and we are having the issue. Now Okay, as we have, okay, before that, we are going to see the other thing. So here we have also sales, right? Here we have also sales, right? And this sales, now sales is what? The number of items got sold, right? Number of items sold, right? Per order. And this table is giving us the order information, right? Order one, order two, order three. So this is giving us the order information, and where we are saying that order one was for this product from this store and on this date, right? So we are having the information, orders information, and how many orders were placed. These are the sales information. How much revenue we have got from this order, and the stock, right? How many stocks are there, right? And the prices of the per product, right? So this is what we have here in this case. Now, as we have we want to know the total sales happened, right? Total sales happened in this file, or from 2015 to 2017. How, or this file we have only 2017 data. So we want to also know that how many total sales are there. Total sales happened in 2017. So we have to add all these up. We have to add all of these sales information. So now you tell me that whether we'll be able to add this sales information.
No, because sales, it is taking it as a string.
Correct.
0 sales, 5 sales.
Correct.
So it is string here.
Correct. So we will not be able to add these up, because these will be always in text format, because we have the text information. So that means we have to, what we need to do, we have to clean this information, and we have to remove this sales data, right? Sales text, right? And then we have to convert it to number type. Then only we will be able to aggregate this information. Otherwise, we will not be able to aggregate, right? So how do we do that? We have so many tools, right? Here we have the tool called replace values. We have a tool called replace values. So let's see. And here we have the fixed values, right? We want to replace what? We want to replace the space and cells. So as this is a fixed value, right? So we can replace this with just an empty value, right? And we can just replace it. And this is so easy, right? That we have
Like
just,
Control H in Excel.
yeah,
It is like Control H in Excel. Like find
like
what
this.
replace with.
Correct. So it's similar. So as I think I had told it before that this is, using all the capabilities of Excel. Okay. On top of that, it is giving us the ease of use here in Power BI, and the DAXes, right? And it's similar like the Excel. Most of the actions here, most of the activities will perform is similar to Excel. And also you can see the look and feel is also similar to Excel, right? This is Microsoft tool, so definitely they will have everything similar, in similar fashion, so that for it is become easy to use, right? So we have this okay, replace values, and most of the options you will find there also in Excel. Okay, so replace values, we have just done this, right? And we have replaced the values. So we have now, as we have these values replaced, so we will be able to change the data type also for this. We will be able to change the data type, and we can change this, and revenue, okay, no, not revenue, stock to number type, right? We can change it to whole number, right? Because this stock and revenue will be whole number. Fine. So these two are the whole numbers. Now we have this revenue and prices. Revenue will be the currency values, and prices will be the currency values. But we had seen the issues with the prices, that we had NA values, right? So now you understand, right, that we can also replace the underlying values using the replace values tool. Okay, we had the value called NA, and that has to be replaced, right? Then only we will be able to make the data type change. So now that is replaced. Fine. The value is replaced, underlying values from the prices. We will be able to make the changes easily. Here we have the revenue and we have the prices. We can change the data type, and here the data type is changed to the fixed decimal number. So now everything is fixed, right? All the data type changes are fixed. Fine. So these are fixed now. Okay. We'll be able to now whatever analysis we want to do on sales, total sales, or we want to check the total revenue. So we will be able to perform all of these analysis. Right. So now most of the data type changes, we have just seen the data type changes, and we
Sir,
have
one second. Earlier we had a value of NA in the price column. Okay. If we replace the values with the blank, the blank value will be there, or what will be the default value? Anything will be there. Just go to that column alone.
Yeah,
We
that
have
is
replaced them.
correct. That will be blank.
Okay.
So we have just replaced this error in the prices, right? So it will be always blank values, null values kind of. Okay, and you see here null. You had seen null. See here the null values. Okay, so like that it will be there. And if you just keep a blank value, it will be also blank somewhere. Okay, so now we have replaced this. You can also replace with zero values, right? You can also replace with other values. So it has to be valid value. Okay, it has to be numeric value. Fine. So as we had this, NA to blank, we can also replace that blank to that value to also the zero values, right? Yeah, any valid information you will be able to put there. Okay, replace that values. Fine. Now let's see that we'll be able to see the count of revenue. Now this earlier we were not getting the correct information on the revenue, right? We were getting only the count of revenue. But now as we have changed the data type, you can see, so now this is updated in the model, and you can see that these are the data types, and you are able to see it here, the data types, right? Any summation information, right? This is giving us the measures, okay, numeric values, right? And these are text, and yeah, here you can see the calendar icon will give us the date information, right? So all of these are changed accordingly. So you'll be able to identify all of these values, all of these columns easily from here. Fine. Now, as we wanted to take the
And
revenue.
for product ID and store ID or promo bin one, we don't have anything. So why?
These are text. These are text information.
Okay.
You don't have anything. These are text values.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. Here now we wanted to see the total revenue, right? We wanted to see the total revenue, but we have not. We have got the count of revenue. So you will see that if we just click on this drop down here on the y-axis, right? Count of revenue we have. If we click on the drop down, so you are now getting more options here. Okay, you are getting now sum, average, minimum, maximum. So all of these statistical functions you are seeing here. Okay, and earlier we were only seeing the count and distinct count. So these two we were seeing because that was a text information before. Now it has become, now it is changed to numeric information, right? So we will be able to set any of these aggregation method, right? So we can set it to sum. So now it is sum of revenue. Okay, so all of so most of the properties, right? The properties related to the data is related to the data type. Okay, whether it is aggregation, whether something else, right? Most of these things or the dates thing. So date related information, right here you can see the dates are all date. While we are getting a date, it is already creating a hierarchy. Okay, it is creating a hierarchy of the date automatically. We are not doing anything. So it depends on the all on the data type, right? It depends everything on the data type. So now we have just done this data type changes. Let's see, we also we have seen the replacement of the values, right? Replacing the values while underlying values, right? Let's go back to the data transformation and see the okay see this data information here. We have So we have just used the replace values. So now we will also get another data set, right, to proceed further with our data. So new query, we are getting a data set, and here text data set. This data we are having the data as so store cities. Fine. And here we have some of the issues we want to check. Okay, and so here again we want to check the we want to do perform the some of the cleaning activities on the data set, right? So what we have seen till now is the removing columns, removing rows, right? And this one, and also data type changes, right? And replacing values, right? Now with this data set, we have a data set here, right? And the very first thing we'll do is the use first row as headers. This is the very first step we'll perform while we get the data set. But if you are getting a data, right, if you are getting a data from the database tables, right, you will get mostly the of a header will get mostly the header to the header itself. Okay, it will not be like okay column 1 column 2 and the header will be on the data pane. It will not be like that. Header will be set to the header while you import the data from the database. So let's here this is the text information, and we are changing it to header, right? So now the very first thing is to check is to change the data type, right? But we are also seeing some more issues here, right? What are the issues we are seeing here? This file is giving us the information on the stores in different cities. Okay, the sales is happening, right? The orders are delivered, right? Being delivered from these stores, right? And these are the different stores, store IDs, store types. We have different types of store types, right? And in these cities, these stores are located. Also, we have also the store size information. What is the total size of the store, right? And where that store is located, right? So these are the total these are the store information of a business, right? So they have stores in different cities and all big business, right? And they want to also analyze the store information, so that based on the revenue, based on their other analysis, product sales and all, right, they can take some action on the stores. They may increase the size of the store, they may close the store, and they may check what is the maintenance cost on the store and all. Everything they may want to analyze, right? They may want to analyze and take a proper action on the stores. So it may happen also. Now we are here trying to what we are trying to do is we are trying to just use some functionalities to clean the data, to clean this information. right? Suppose we want to understand the total store size in all the cities. Okay, in all the cities, we want to know the total store size we have, right? That will give us the capacity also, right? Total capacity of our product. How many product we may we can keep in those total stores, right? All the stores. So these informations we may want to know, right? We want to know the total store size, right? How do we uh, get that information? We can visualize this, or we can sum it up, sum this information, store size information. So now tell me that whether we will be able to get the total store size from here. No, right? Because again, we are seeing the unit of the store size, right? Square meter, cubic meter, right? So store size is given here as a volume, or store size is given here as a some, square meter and all, right? There is some, they have some different unit. I am also not aware of this unit, QM. Fine. So we will not be able to get the store size directly from here unless we clean the data. So one way, here we are not exactly changing the values to something, right? We are exactly not changing the values to the actual store size. We are just getting these numbers. Okay. So what we can do is, the very easy way is to replace the values, right? Replace the values and get the numbers. So we can do that, right? So is this the correct method we'll be able to apply here?
You
No, we
won't
have
be, no.
M2 as well as QM. So it is
Correct,
difficult to, we have to do it twice or based on
correct,
the.
correct, correct. We have m square and this qm. So we have two values. We will not be able to we will not be able to use the replace values. So even if we use the replace values, right, we have to do it two times. Right? We have to do it two times. So we will not be able to do that. We have
And
another.
Manzar, even if we do it 2 times, at the end we
Hmm,
will just have the number of the store size.
correct,
We
correct. So
won't
that's
be
what I
able
said.
to know whether it is in a square meter or in QM.
Correct. So that's what I mentioned, that we are just here trying to clean this value. We are not trying to get the correct value, right? So also based on this, to get the correct value, we have to multiply the amount related to the m square and qm, right? Then only we'll get the actual amount of the store size, right? So that also we can will which will come later, right? So now we are just trying to fix. We are just trying to clean the information, right? And replace value won't work here because we have the different information, different text values. So we have another tool called split column. Okay, we have another tool called split column here, and here we will be able to. Also, we have another other tool also we have called extract. You know. Column. Okay, here we have the extract values. Okay, another tool we have called extract values, right? We can just extract the number of information here. You can see we can extract the length, right? We can extract first characters, first two characters, first three characters, but it is again variable number of characters. We will not be able to get last characters, so that is also not possible because we have variable numbers. Now we have the range also, we can also get. If we have fixed range, we can get it. But this is the better way to extract the values. We have the text before delimiter, text after delimiter, and text between delimiters. So we have a delimiter called a space here, right? We can get the text before delimiter. And we can give the delimiter as the space, right? Here we have to enter the delimiter, and this is the space. So just yeah, And this is easy, right? Easily we have got the text before delimiter. And even whatever it is, like whether variable values or whatever it is, we have got the text, we have got the information, right? Now we can use this information. Fine. So this is one way to extract the values, right? And if you go back and see this value, now extracting we have two different ways. So if we also want to keep the unit, right? If you want to keep the unit, in this case, what we need to do is we need to duplicate the column, right? We have to create a duplicate column, right? And we have to do the cleaning on both the column, right? So now also we have to get here we have to get extract the values, right? From here. So you can see also there so many options are also, all these options whatever we are seeing here, also while right clicking you will also get most of the options available here. Fine. Now we are extracting and we have extracted before delimiter, so we can just get this before delimiter in this case. And in the case of unit, what we are just getting is we can just get the after delimiter, text after delimiter, right? And here also is space, and we are just getting the units. So this is the way we are getting these values, right? These from one column we are getting the two different column, and we are also now exactly getting the store units and store size, right? The next one of the important things is also like, okay, you will be able to change the column names, okay, just by double clicking it. Just double click, right? And you can change the names, okay? Just double click and change the names. So this is the way you will be able to also rename your column, right? This is store unit, right? And it is renamed. Fine. So whichever column you want to rename, you can just double click and rename it. Fine. And also you can reorder the columns from one place to another place. If you want to move this column to some other place, right, you can do that. Okay. You can move all the related columns at one place, right, and the other columns at other place. So you can rearrange all of this, but it will not affect the underlying data set. It will not affect the source. It will not affect the any other data set. Only the current step it will just have. And the similar the last steps applied here will be moved to the model, right? You will be seeing the data after all of these transformations. While you publish this data, while you are closing applying this data to the model, right? In the model you will find whatever is the last step applied, right? Till that data you will find. Fine. So this is one way we have just extracted the values, right? There's other way also, and there is a very easy way, right? We have data, right? Like we have data where this is only one. Here we have only one delimiter, right? We may also have data which may have more than one delimiter, and we want to also extract the information from there, right? In this case, right here you can see we have the state abbreviation and city information. So three information we have. We have to also extract these values. So we can use the extract capability, right? Extract capability we can do, and you can get the delimiter before delimiter, after delimiter, and last delimiter after second delimiter, right? Let's see, we want to just get the last part of this value. So you can extract this value, and you can see that after delimiter, right? After which delimiter, you can also see that we can set the advanced option, and here you can see that skip the first delimiter and get the second from the second delimiter, you can get the information. So after the second delimiter, right, skip the first delimiter and we want to get the, okay, fine. So why did we get this value? Because we are giving space, but here the thing was not, here the delimiter was not space, right? Delimiter is nothing but the, here it is the hyphen. Okay, here this delimiter is hyphen and we have to give the first, we have to remove, scan the for the delimiter and skip the first delimiter, number of delimiters to skip, right? Now you'll see only the last part we have just got. Yeah, we have just got the last part from this one. So this is again pretty easy, that we are able to extract all the informations using the text before delimiter, text after delimiter, text between delimiters also you will be able to get. Like suppose you are getting this, you want to get the middle part, right? You want to extract the middle part, so you can also do that using the text between delimiters. So what is the delimiter between delimiter? The first delimiter is hyphen, second delimiter is hyphen, right? And between this delimiter, whatever you want to get, you can just get the data, right? So now it is giving us the middle part, right? Which is state abbreviation, state information, state name, right? So you now, if you want to get all of these all of the three parts in the data set, so if you are using the extract tool, what you have to do is you have to create three different, duplicate this column 3 times. Then only you will be able to get all of these informations at one place, right? So there's one other and easy way to do this, right? There's other way which is called split column, right? This split column is also available in under transform and also under the home ribbon. You have the split column here under the home ribbon event, right? So this is very easy way to get the data, splitted, right? You have the store size, you want to split this data, right? And now you can also have the same option. You can see by delimiter you want to split, by number of characters you want to split, by positions you want to split. So lowercase to uppercase, uppercase to lowercase. So here you can see that we have digit to non-digit, right? We have also delimiter, we can split it from delimiter also, or digit to non-digit we can split. So let's say we want to do it digit to non-digit delimiter splitting. So, and all of these are very easily, and beautifully, applied here, right? So you can see all of the options you may be thinking in your mind are available here, and this is so easy, right? But if you want to get the same capability by writing your code, you may take a week or so, right? It may take a longer time, right? To just think on these things. But now everything is, all of these options are very handy here, right? And very powerful, and easily we'll be able to apply all of these options. Fine. So now you have got this data, store size here, and the store unit, right? Store size and store unit. You have got the store size and the store unit. So you can rename these, and later on, what we can do, we can create another calculated column, right? Where we can also, based on the unit, we can also multiply the correct numbers and get the store size in one format. We can bring all of these data into one format so that everything is in sync. We can easily, compare the store size and all these things between different stores, right? We can also do that. But now we are not going to do that, right? We are just seeing the capabilities of the tool. Fine. This is one thing. The next is we can just here also use the split column, and we have the delimiter option, right? By delimiter, we want to split the column, all of these three columns, right? And we have, see here, it is automatically identifying the delimiter, and we can just use the delimiter and split the columns into three parts, right? We have got all of these columns just in one click, right? We don't have to Also all of these columns are together, right? We don't have to do much of the work. So here we can just rename it like state, and here it is state abbreviation, right? So state abbreviation, and last one is the city information. So last one is the city information, and we have just and renamed all of the columns, right? Renamed the column. Fine. Also, we have this last line latitude and longitude information, and we can just do the splitting again on the by the delimiter. And this is not recognized. This delimiter is not recognized. We can just give the delimiter as space slash space, right? So this is the delimiter we have just provided, and we can just get the things splitted, latitude and longitude, right? So here it is latitude, we can just give lat, and this is the longitude information. Longitude information. Okay. So this will give us, all of these will give us the information related to the map. See, latitude and longitude, we will be able to point, set it on the map, right? And to check the location, fine. And also the city, state information, city information, this we will be able to see it in the map, right? Here now we have got the data. We have got these data, collected, right? And the values are cleaned. Now just we need to, based on the data, underlying data, we can just set the, now we can set the, data type, right? This is store size, so it has to be set to the store size, can be decimal number or anything, right? Or here we are seeing all of these are whole numbers, so we can just give it the whole number, or even we can make it to the other decimal numbers if it is in decimal points, right? So we have just got the store size, and we have also the latitude and longitude. We can keep it as this one. We can, this latitude and longitude should not be this should not be summed up, right? It cannot be aggregated because these are latitude and longitude values, so we can keep it as the text information. Fine. So yeah, that's all we have for this, this session. In the next session, right, we'll just see more of these cleaning activities, and yeah, and also I will share one assignment, right, in this weekend. So you can, and we have also we have just covered the very basic part. It should not take more than 15 to 20 minutes to complete the assignment. Okay. So yeah, that's all I
I
have
have
for
one
today's
question.
session.
I have one
Yeah, please.
question.
Please.
In case if we are having a more number of errors in our data, say for example it is populating with red color, only if we want to filter that alone, we can go to filter and then type error, then that will automatically pick up the all the error values, right?
No, you
If
don't
you
have to
have
type the error. You don't have to type the error because these are values, okay? And values will not give you error. So what is giving, where if we have some error, right? Error values, so it will automatically show you down here
okay.
that this is the error, this is the error we have. Okay.
Only if I want to filter that error column alone. Say for example, I'm
Correct.
having 100 rows in
Correct.
which I have only five rows having errors. Only
Correct.
five rows alone I need to filter it. Then I have to click that
No,
error
you
message
don't have
alone,
to.
right?
You don't have to filter this. You will not be able to filter. Okay, you will not be able to filter that value because error are not shown in the value. Okay, you will find the error message here down. Okay, you can
Okay.
just check what is the error, and based on that error you can fix the column.
Okay, it will say it is saying that it is not in a text format, or it is saying the
Yeah,
number.
correct,
That is the only message it will provide, but
correct.
it will not provide the whatever the rows or column which is affected by the error. It will not provide the exact column or exact row
So you
details.
have to
Only
go down.
that information.
Correct.
But it is
You
very
have to-
difficult now. My question
Hmm.
is, if it is filter all the error details and then we can go and fix it in a one chart. But if we are going one by one, say for example, if I'm having error in 13th line and then again I'm having in 40, again in 73, again in 91, then it is a difficult task to go and visit every time and fixing this.
Ha,
This is
ha.
a very difficult one, right?
Correct. So you'll only if suppose you have three types of issues, three types of error. So all of these will be listed, right? Three types of error will be listed. Then you can check, go back to the previous step, right? And check the all of those data. And from that step, you will be able to filter. But in the error step, right? While you have the error in this data set here, and you want to filter out the error data, right, directly, so you will not get the filtered, you will not be able to filter the error, because it will not be able to it will not be available in the data set, that filter.
Mandar, like in that case, what will be the best approach to fix the error if there are, let's say, 10,000 or 50,000 records are there? So can't
Yeah,
like because we cannot
if you are
go manually, we cannot go one by one and then fix the error.
correct.
You'll
If you are working
not.
on in the large data set, if you say for example, if you are working on a 10 lakhs data, there are 65,000 lines are need to be fixed. Then we cannot go and sit in fixing
Then
those
Correct.
things in
then at
manually, right?
ETL level,
Correct. That will be those. All those will be fixed in the ETL level, right? That is the correct first thing, right? Here we have only one, two, very minimal issues we'll be having on the data side. Suppose we have lot of issues in the data side, right? We should always push it to the ETL or backend. Okay. But so we have suppose we are working on the files. Okay, not on not it is not under the process ETL process, right? Data engineering process. We are getting some raw files from some people, and which is having a lot of data, right? In that case, you are directly getting that data here, right? So we can also we have to, in that case, we have to be very careful on the data set. And now, as you are saying that we may get many issues. So many issues, how many? Suppose if you have more than 10, 15, 20 issues, right? In that case, we have to always check. We have to always ask the application team also to check their rules and whatever regulations they are putting on the data set, because we will not be able to fix many data issues in this case here, right? We'll mostly fix the minimal number of issues here, okay, on the data.
Okay, got your
Okay.
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So yeah, we'll meet on Monday, right? With the more on these cleaning activities, and also we'll start the we'll also start the visualization one by one.
Okay.
So this
Just provide the assignment so that we
Yes.
can work on it, and then we can share it in the weekend itself so that you can evaluate and come back with your.
Yes. Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.